What's up, Black and Gold Nation? Welcome everyone to the space made especially for you, the passionate NFL fan and diehard supporter of our glorious Pittsburgh Steelers. Here, we always bring you the hottest news, exclusive analysis, and of course, the kind of debate that only real fans understand. And today, my friends, we've got a bombshell topic: the trade of Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers and the insane contract he just signed, surpassing even the record set by our very own superstar T.J. Watt. This shakes up the entire NFL market and puts the Steelers right in the center of the conversation. But before diving into this story, you know the drill. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. It's quick, free, and it really helps us keep bringing you exclusive news and in-depth analysis about the Steelers. Let's start by talking about the heart of our defense, T.J. Watt. The linebacker isn't just one of the most dominant players in the NFL, but also the face of the franchise in recent years. He's won Defensive Player of the Year, is a multiple-time Pro Bowler, and has led the league in sacks in several seasons. This past July, the Steelers sealed a historic deal, 3 years, $123 million, with $108 million guaranteed. That made Watt the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history, with an average of $41 million per season. The importance of this contract goes beyond money. It ensures that Watt remains the anchor of the defense, alongside stars like Minkah Fitzpatrick and Cam Hayward. The front office knew they had to act fast before another player blew up the market, and that's exactly what happened. Looking ahead, the Steelers are also focused on bringing in young reinforcements to complement this elite defense. One name drawing attention is linebacker Peyton Wilson, a recent draft pick. Wilson arrives with an impressive NCAA background, known for his speed and instincts, qualities that could fit perfectly into Mike Tomlin's defensive scheme. He has the potential to learn directly from Watt and maybe in the future form one of the most explosive duos in the league. The Steelers have already shown confidence in the rookie's development, and he could see significant snaps in his very first year, especially in rotation situations. Expectations are that he'll bring youth, energy, and versatility to a unit that needs to evolve. Now, for the most controversial part, the trade that shook the NFL. Micah Parsons, the Cowboys star, was sent to the Green Bay Packers in a blockbuster deal involving Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. Parsons, a 4-time Pro Bowler, wasn't happy in Dallas due to contract negotiations and pushed his way out. The result? A historic contract with the Green Bay Packers. 4 years, $188 million with $136 million guaranteed. It's the highest amount ever paid to a defensive player in NFL history. And of course, this draws an inevitable comparison with T.J. Watt's contract. While T.J. Watt is still seen as the most consistent defensive face in the NFL, he no longer holds the title of highest paid non-QB. Steelers fans can actually breathe a sigh of relief, because if the team had waited longer to renew his deal, they probably would have had to pay even more. But wait, there's more. This trade also spices up the season. In Week 8, the Packers and Steelers will clash in Acrisure Stadium in prime time, Sunday Night Football. It's going to be a game full of rivalry, anticipation, and of course, a direct comparison between Watt and Parsons. So, Steelers Nation, what do you think of this deal? A, is Parsons' contract fair, or did the Packers overpay? B, is T.J. Watt still the best edge rusher in the NFL, even if he's no longer the highest paid? And C, tell me, would you like to see the Steelers pull off a blockbuster trade like this?
Let's start by remembering the star we already have locked in, DK Metcalf, the big signing of the offseason. The wide receiver arrived with superstar status, and the expectation is that he'll be Aaron Rodgers' #1 target in 2025. Metcalf comes off a solid run with the Seahawks, being one of the most physically dominant receivers in the NFL. Just last season, he recorded 66 receptions, 1,114 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He's the kind of wide receiver who draws the attention of opposing defenses and creates space for others. But as every fan knows, an elite offense needs more than just one name. And that's exactly where the Steelers have been struggling. Calvin Austin III is still a question mark. Roman Wilson is promising, but raw, and Scotty Miller is mostly used in specific plays. In other words, Rodgers may be a four-time MVP quarterback, but if he doesn't have consistent options, the passing game will continue to be limited. That's why the front office has been looking into who could be that complementary wideout, someone who can provide reliability in short and intermediate routes and take some of the pressure off Metcalf. Speaking of alternatives, it's worth remembering that in the draft, the Steelers looked for reinforcements, but didn't quite land an immediate impact wideout. The highlight was Roman Wilson, taken in the third round. Wilson shined at Michigan, especially in quick routes and as a slot receiver. He has speed, reliable hands, and could fit nicely into Rodgers' offensive scheme. However, it's tough to expect a rookie to immediately step in as the team's number 2 receiver. And that's something fans need to understand. The talent is there, but the transition to the NFL is never simple. Wilson could become an important piece in the medium term, but the coaching staff knows it's risky to put that kind of responsibility on him right away. That's why there's urgency to bring in a reliable veteran, someone ready to contribute from week 1. And here's where Kendrick Bourne comes into play, recently released by the Patriots after requesting his departure at the end of training camp. At 30 years old, the wide receiver has already played in 111 NFL games over 8 seasons and now hits the market as pretty much the last viable option for the Steelers. Bourne isn't the type of receiver who will give you Pro Bowl numbers, but he has a solid track record. His best season came in 2021, right after joining New England. 55 receptions, 800 yards, and 5 touchdowns. When it comes to him, consistency is the key word. And let's be real, the Steelers don't need another Metcalf. What's missing is someone who can add 500 or 600 yards in a season, deliver key third-down catches, give Rodgers safe options, and most importantly, help stretch the field for the big plays. In that sense, Bourne could be a perfect fit. Of course, there's competition. The San Francisco 49ers, the team where Bourne began his career, are also interested. The Niners are dealing with injuries in their wide receiver group and have the advantage of Bourne's familiarity with their system. That means Pittsburgh would have to move quickly if they really want him. If the deal goes through, the Steelers would add an immediate boost and could feel a bit more secure heading into Week 1 against the New York Jets. If not, Rodgers will have to manage with Metcalf and a young group that hasn't inspired much confidence yet. So, Steelers Nation, what do you think about this potential move? Do you believe Kendrick Bourne is the right name to strengthen the Steelers' offense? Or do you think the franchise should trust the young guys and give Roman Wilson more room to grow this season? Drop your opinion in the comments. I really want to know what the Black and Gold Nation is thinking. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because here you'll always stay on top of everything going on with the Steelers. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.